Just a quick reminder that this Rohatsu is around December 8th, which is Bodhi Day, the presumed day of enlightenment for the Buddha. So it's kind of like, I guess, the biggest Buddhist holiday. We do his birth, his enlightenment, and his death. Um, so, yeah, getting in touch with our own enlightenment experience. He looked up and saw a star and realized thusness we can pick a weed from the garden or wait for the microwave in the kitchen and awaken to that moment. So in honor of the Buddha's enlightenment, I'm continuing from last year. If anyone was here last year, um, we did talks on this collection of koans, the record of transmitting the light, which is the stories of transmission, enlightenment, however you want to see it, of all the ancestors that we chant in the morning, starting with the Buddha, and this one goes all the way through Dogen Zenji's successor, who was Koun Ejo. Anyway, so yeah, I thought it would be cool. Like last year, we started with the Buddha, and then we did ancestor number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5. And so I thought this year I would just kind of pick up and keep on going. And hey, maybe in 10 years we can get through the whole series. That would be kind of fun to see all that. It's like a Rohatsu tradition. So let's see. We skipped yesterday, and so we are on the 8th ancestor. So imagine this is already 100, 150, 200 years after the Buddha. And we're still just in the beginning of the book. So the 8th ancestor was Buddha Nandi. Buddha Nandi. He met the 7th ancestor, who was Vasumitra. He met Vasumitra and said, "I have come to discuss the truth with you." Vasumitra said, "Good sir." Sorry. "Good sir, if if you discuss, it is not the truth. Truth is not discussed. If you intend to discuss the truth, then in the end, it is not a discussion of truth." Buddhanandi realized that Vasumitra's truth was superior and was thus awakened to the principle of the unborn. So that is the story of Buddhanandi's deep connection with Vasumitra. And not just his awakening, but again, this is kind of highlighting the relationship between teacher and student, how the lineage gets passed on. Because, yeah, we're all super enlightened. We all get in touch with the ultimate truth, which is just this, but then to be able to bring that into relationship, into communication, into community, collective awakening. That is how the lineage lives on. And why we're sitting here today, almost 2,600 years after some guy sat under a tree. We're all here today. So let's take a look at this. So I guess historically speaking, this person, Buddha Nandi, was like a master discussionist, debater, so smart, so sharp, which Seisen, our founder and my teacher, she's now like really on. She says she spends her whole day just like scrolling through YouTube and TikTok watching like new age slash alien slash astrology slash pop psychology things. She loves it. And she sent me something today which said that wit, cleverness, is, oh God, what was it? It's something like vulnerability suppressed, or something like that. When we suppress our pain, our sadness, or our vulnerability, it can come out as wit. Disappointment, that's what it was. When we stifle and suppress our disappointment, it comes out as cleverness and wit. Um, I thought that was an interesting little koan to look at. Anyway, so yeah, this guy Buddha Nandi is super smart and witty, and he debates everyone, and he's really good. So uh, yeah, Vasumitra travels to where he is, and he sees this Buddhist guy coming in. So he comes up and he says, "I would like to discuss the truth with you." Um, so obviously, our job in working with these koans in these cases is to make them personal. So this concept of "I've come to discuss the truth with you" is so big. Like on the one hand, it applies to Daison, meeting with a teacher in your spiritual practice. It also applies to debates over the dinner table at home, um, the news, journalism comes to discuss the truth with us, and even more juicy or tricky, or maybe I should say just as juicy and tricky, is our own mind and our own thoughts, our heart mind. It's always popping up, trying to discuss the truth with us. I don't like this. I wish I had a burrito. This person next to me is super annoying. I will never be good enough. Why did I fail so much? I mean, whatever, I can list all the things that come into our heads. But in a way, this is all coming to discuss the truth. Because this discussion isn't just about two people talking words to each other. It's when we put anything into a conceptual framework, discussing the universe, just the basic belief or motive that I am a person in the world is already a huge discussion. There's so much dualism and ideas wrapped up in just that basic "I am here." I am here. All of those are just those three words are these huge loaded concepts. And then think of all the things that that grow out of that. All the good and the bad and the useful and the purposeful and the intentional and the right and the wrong. It all stems from this desire to discuss the universe. And that's a good thing. Because we discuss the universe, we know which berries will kill us and which will sustain us. And we know who our allies are and who are people who want to harm us. So we survive because we discuss and create concepts of things. We grow. We create Zen centers and fall in love and help people because of these discussions. But when we can wake up, so to speak, to the untruthiness of these discussions, these concepts and ideas, um, then we're not so slave to them. We can work with them. We can discuss um, for the three pure precepts: not doing harm, doing good, and doing good for others. That's a nice way to discuss things. But when we start getting wrapped up in our discussions as the truth, something to hold on to, that's when we get into trouble. That's when things get confusing. That's when we rub up against each other. Sometimes for the good. Anyway, so yeah, I've come to discuss the truth with you. And Vasumitra says, if you discuss, it is not the truth. Truth is not discussed. Yeah, so that's kind of what I was saying. It doesn't mean that we shouldn't discuss ever. We have to. But I think Zazen, working, practicing in community, those help us so much not to be misled by our discussing mind. Um, People have been talking about this practice of shikantaza, which we talk about in Zen. It's like a Soto Zen staple practice. Shikantaza, just sitting. Just sitting. And how to talk about that is so difficult. Because the minute you even say just, now you like have some kind of discussion going on, let alone sitting. Um, but in our continuous attempt to try to communicate, in a way, this shikantaza is kind of like opening up, having the universe, the external world, the internal world, come to us and say, I'd like to discuss the truth with you. And we, in shikantaza, just listen. We don't debate. We don't sift through the discussion trying to figure out the truth or not. We just listen. It's kind of a nice way to talk about shikantaza, because we're not, it's not listening in the like oral sense. It's listening with our whole body. Can you listen with your toes? Can you listen with your heart? Can you listen with your temples, your chest? I like that. If you've heard the phrase "say it with your chest," it's kind of a newish slang thing. It means like put your whole self into it. Say it with your chest, stand behind it. So yeah, shikantaza is just total full body listening. Put your foot into that listening with your chest, um, without discussing back. Interesting. Yeah, if you intend to discuss the truth, then in the end it is not a discussion of truth. So yeah, if you come to sesshin intending to get peaceful, intending to realize something, prove something to yourself, prove something to someone else, then you're just kind of lost in a kind of arbitrary discussion instead of just listening to the truth that's constantly manifesting. Right? It's important to see that the point is not that there is no truth. That is not what Vasumitra is saying. That's kind of nihilism. That's existentialism. There is no truth. Of course there's a truth. Bodhi Day celebrates awakening to that truth. So even to say there is a truth, there is not a truth, is already lost in the discussion. Keizan Zenji, the guy who compiled this and made commentary, breaks our brain a little bit more. It's pretty nice. Um, Even if you say that mind and objects are not two, this is not a discussion of reality. If you say that nothing changes, or that everything changes, this is not truth. If you say that words cannot be uttered, or that the principle cannot be revealed, this still does not penetrate reality. If you say that essential nature is real, or that mind is absolute, what sort of discussion is this? So yeah, the minute we get wrapped up in knowing, then we stop listening. And we're off in some discussion. So yeah, this practice is all just about not getting stuck. Not getting stuck. And whatever it is, obvious things like, I'll never be happy until I'm rich. That's obviously a dangerous thing to get stuck in. Um, I'll never be happy unless I save the world. That's dangerous to get stuck in. And even the tiny little subtle things that we take as true, like Seisen, when she would give lots of talks, she always quoted Byron Katie. I'm not too familiar with her, right? Byron Katie. Um, but I think one of the major phrases from Byron Katie that Seisen always used to reference in her talks is that true? Is it really true? Is it really, really true? The notion being that if we do that enough, is that true? Is it really true? Um, we'll probably get to a no eventually. Maybe. That's probably not even true either. um, yeah. I think one of my favorite examples is, and it's a little tricky, but at least it's something to chew on. But the driving discussion around the civil rights movement was we're all equal. We're all the same. Don't judge me on the color of my skin. And, that was this huge revolutionary, beautiful thing that led to a major, major necessary shift in our societal norms. And then just a few decades later, we start to realize, like, okay, now this same argument is being used against things like affirmative action and reparations, anti-racist policies. Well, we're all the same. So why should we skew the whatever? And so all of that, don't see color stuff became really problematic. I think that's kind of been a part of my perception. It's tricky. But if even that amazingly revolutionary thing that changed the world eventually becomes passé and even harmful, that always serves as a reminder to me to not get stuck. And yeah, there are so many cultural things that I hold on to as so important. And then I have to remind myself, yo, in 30 years, if I keep saying that, I'll probably be seen as this totally, you know, antiquated, old, curmudgeon-y grandpa spitting that same nonsense again. So, can we do that with everything? I'm beautiful. I'm ugly. I'll never be blah blah blah. I'll never get yammer. Is that really true? How stuck in that discussion am I? So at the end of each of these cases, Kazon offers a little poem. So this poem is: the discussions by Subhuti and Vimalakirti did not reach it. Maudgalayayana and Shariputra saw it as if blind. If you wish to understand the meaning of this intimately, when is some seasoning not appropriate? So yeah, the discussions by Subhuti and Vimalakirti, that references the Vimalakirti Sutra, and they have this very powerful, fancy, flowery, deep discussion about the Dharma. Same with Maudgalayayana and Shariputra. These are all like old Buddhist sutra figures. Lots of writing and conversations between them. So yeah, no matter how enlightened we are, no matter how well we talk, no matter how much a meme resonates with us, can we hold it lightly? Can we just chew on it like gum? Get all the flavor without swallowing it. If you wish to understand the meaning of this, your life, the universe, when is some seasoning not appropriate? That's funny, as I was preparing for this, I thought it said season. When is some season not appropriate? Which is different. When is some seasoning not appropriate? So yeah, he kind of slaps us in the face there. That basically says all discussion is appropriate. All of this, all of the communicating, everything out of your mouth, everything in your mind is exactly it. We're all just peppering our experience every moment. And so to look and listen, whole body listening, whole body tasting of your seasoning on this life. And might touch some kind of truth.